I'm sure he'll be here any minute now.
Your Honor, I'm sorry I'm late. Please give me a moment to consult with my client.
Where were you? You were supposed to be here 15 minutes ago.
Hey, it's okay, I got this, man.
It's just, you had a panic attack when you heard that this was the judge assigned to the case. You said she was a stickler for being on time.
No, I didn't.
You said it started when her dad was 30 seconds late to her birth,
No, that didn't happen.
and then her mom glued his hands together,
Remind me of this chick's name again?
and then they couldn't... Wait. You want me to tell you the judge's name?
Yeah?
You want me
Yes.
to tell you
Yup.
the judge's name?
Mm-hmm.
You want me
Uh-huh.
to tell you
That's right.
the name
Correct.
of the woman
Bingo.
who is going to be deciding my fate?
Yes, Derek the judge. She's sitting behind that big podium thing. What's her name?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you should at least know her name, Derek. I told you to do research on her.
You said not to worry about the research. You said you had a plan.
Of course I have a plan. I have a plan. I have a plan.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just saying, as a general rule, you don't come to court without even knowing the name of the judge. I told you, Derek, there are 4 things you should know before you enter the courtroom. You should know her name, her home address, her favorite type of flower, the width of her nose, the school her children attend, and probably some other stuff, but I don't really remember.
That was more than 4.
What?
You said those 4 things and then you listed like 7.
Now is not the time for banter. Please, Derek, I have a job to do.
Do you know any of those things?
No.
But you're in a courtroom. You said you can't be in the courtroom without knowing those 8 things.
6?
What?
There were 6 things, Derek!
Excuse me. I'd ask if you could hold us up any longer, but quite frankly, I'm afraid of the answer. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. All rise. Court is now in session. We are gathered here today on the grounds of the proceedings of the defendant, Derek Mullins. Mr. Mullins, you've been charged with a second offense, indecent exposure. The prosecution may present with your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Elizabeth Blank. I'm the prosecutor of this case, and it is my honor to represent the people of Florida. We all want to feel safe and comfortable as we complete simple, everyday tasks, such as walking through a grocery store. On February 3rd, 2022, however, defendant Derek Mullins rid nearly 100 people of this right. Mullins arrived at the scene around 4 p.m. He parked his orange Kia Soul in the back lot of the Walmart Supercenter, then proceeded to enter the building. He then made his way to aisle 15, stripped his clothes in front of the frozen seafood, ran up and down the aisles as he dodged employees as citizens watched in terror. This continued for 17 minutes and 34 seconds until the police officer arrived promptly at the scene. We will call 3 witnesses to the stand today. The first, Tiffany Wilson, the 17-year-old employee on restock duty at the time of the incident. The second, Helena Birch, the officer who arrived promptly at the scene. And the third, Xavier Mullins, the brother of the defendant. The defense would like for you to believe that this was merely a coincidence involving someone who closely resembles Mr. Mullins, who just so happened to be at the same place at the same time of the crime. I am here to show you, however, that a coincidence that precise simply did not happen on this fine February evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blank. You may be seated. The defense may proceed with your opening statement.
She said you can give your opening statement.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
No, yeah. Good evening. Good evening, men and women. My client here, his name is Merrick Dullins, and the prosecution wants you to think he did something which he did not do. She thinks he got naked in a store, and that didn't happen. It was just somebody who looked a whole lot like him. And the cop, who you'll hear from later, but the prosecution already mentioned that, so I'm not gonna bother, got the wrong guy. This is all just a big misunderstanding is all. Thanks for coming today.
You may be seated.
That was good.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, she was all like, this and that. And then you were just like,
You're wrong.
you know what I mean?
I told you, kid, I've been in this game for a long time. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Trust me, we got this jury right where we want it. Right where we want it. I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good?
I'm good.
We're good.
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 The prosecution calls Tiffany Wilson to the stand. Please state your name for the jury.
But you just told them my name.
It's just standard procedure.
Fine. Tiffany Wilson,
Miss Wilson, where are you employed?
Walmart Supercenter.
And would you say that you enjoy your job?
I just said I work at Walmart.
That sounds fair. I take it most teenagers don't particularly enjoy their job. Why then are you still employed there?
I wanted a car, obviously. And my stupid dad said because I crashed his stupid Mustang into a fire hydrant one time that I would need to get one myself, which is like super dumb because he has like $1 bajillion. That I would need to go buy a car for myself to transport myself to the job that I need to get a car like a grown adult and go to my job like a grown adult.
Sounds like a fairly normal routine for someone your age. You are 17, is that correct, Miss Wilson?
Yes.
17. I take a gander and say that those of you in the jury have some 17-year-olds in your lives. Sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, grandkids, and you would want them to feel safe while they're at work. Miss Wilson, do you recognize the defendant?
Yeah, that's Mr. Shrimp.
Mr. Shrimp, and why do you say that?
Well, he got naked in front of the frozen cocktail aisle, and my coworker came up with the name.
And you're sure that this is the man that you witnessed?
I recognize that haircut from a mile away.
No further questions.
Your witness.
Miss Wilson, I'm sure you're very tired during the day after school and such. Maybe you were hallucinating.
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained. Mr. Patterson, please rephrase.
Your eyes were tired.
Objection.
Your legs were tired.
Objection.
You really expect this jury to believe that
Objection.
this jury is smarter than that?
Objection.
You, Miss Wilson, are stupid.
You must abide by the rules of the court. Do you have any further questions for the witness?
Nothing that won't be objected to.
Are we in trouble?
You know, Derek, trouble is a subjective term. If you want to say we're in trouble, I can't stop you, but I don't see it that way. No, I don't see it that way. I see it like we're a fish chasing a cat.
But cats eat fish.
You have to think about it logically. Okay, Derek? What is the cat doing in the pond? It's waiting for us to pounce. But we are the ones with the scales, and they are tipped in our favor.
What the hell are you talking about?
Next witness, please.
The prosecution calls Helena Birch to the stand. Please state your name for the jury.
Helena Birch,
Miss Birch, where are you employed?
at the local police department.
Can you give us your recollection of the events which occurred on February 3rd?
Well, I remember receiving a phone call about a man who took his shirt off in a Target.
We got this.
You're sure that it was a target?
Objection! You can't do that!
Sustained.
What did you do after receiving this call?
I rushed over right away. I was excited, really. I don't get many cases on the force anymore. I'm not as dexterous as I used to be, but I love turning on the sirens and just speeding past all those other little cars. It's my favorite part of the job.
What happened when you went inside?
Oh boy, I can't remember for sure.
Did you see anything?
Well, sure, I saw lots of things. Fruits, grains. It was a grocery store.
Miss Birch, did you see anyone not wearing any clothes?
Oh, a penis! I do remember seeing one of those. It's been a long time since I saw one of those before. No, it didn't compare to my late Pope.
I beg of you, please don't finish that sentence.
Miss Birch, was this the man you saw not wearing any clothes?
Mr. Patterson.
I can't say for sure. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. He did have orange hair, though. I remember that.
No further questions.
Miss Birch, how old are you?
I'm 84.
The legal retirement age in Florida is like 60 or something. Why are you still employed?
Well, I love my job, and being around the house just gets so boring. It's not the same these days with Paul passing and all.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Miss Birch. Now, I understand this can be a difficult topic, so please bear with me. Does your family have a history of dementia?
Oh, yes! I lost my mother, she lost her mother, I think.
Well, according to important doctors and scientists and stuff, a traumatic event such as a partner's passing can serve as a catalyst and potentially worsen a patient's pre-existing dementia. Could this be a possibility for you, Miss Birch?
No, I don't think so, ma'am. I remember things quite well.
Okay, well then, could you tell me exactly what you're doing here?
We're in a courtroom,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm serving on the jury.
Uh-huh. You don't really remember if this was the man you saw at the store, do you? Could it have been somebody else with orange hair, perhaps?
I'm sorry, what store?
No further questions.
That was good. Like, actually good. Like, we might actually have a case
All
going.
right, Derek, I'm getting real sick of you being such a kiss-up, okay?
Sorry.
Apologies over prison cells, Derek. Now, we've got one chance to do this. Are you ready?
Yeah, about that. I really don't know if we need the number.
No, Derek. We need the number.
I mean, I know you said that court is like a musical, and it's not worth the ticket in if you don't get a show-stopping number. But I don't even really know what you meant by that. And isn't it better to quit while we're ahead? I mean, you completely disproved everything that cop lady had to say. The court's not gonna believe her.
It's the showstopper, Derek. You got the people in the door, now it's time to lock you behind them. You know what I mean?
Never in my life have I ever known what you meant.
Derek, just look at me.
Robert,
Please.
I don't...
Just look at me in my eyes. Do you trust me?
I trust you.
Your Honor, my client asked to use the restroom.
Can you not wait another 5 minutes? The session's almost over.
It's an emergency!
Fine. Mr. Mullins, you may go. We'll call our final witness to the stand.
Your Honor, we can't continue with the defendant.
Miss Blank, I appreciate your respect of due process, but quite frankly, I don't want to spend another second with these idiots, let alone an extra 5 minutes. Mr. Mullins, go. Please move quickly. Mr. Patterson, you may call your final witness to the stand.
I would like to call Xavier Mullins to the stand.
Your Honor, you forgot me kidding.
Could you please state your name for the jury?
I am Xavier Mullins.
And what is your relationship to the defendant?
He is my brother.
Are you close with him?
As close as brothers can be. You know how it is. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Your Honor, I honestly can't even think of an objection for this scenario, but surely this is not okay.
I don't like you. You're mean. Now, if my lawyer... if the lawyer could continue asking questions.
How often do you see your brother?
Not very often, which is why I was so excited to see him on February 3rd. It had been too long. We needed to catch up.
Oh, and where did you go to catch up?
A coffee shop by my house.
And where do you live?
Far away from any Walmart.
What time was your identical twin brother with you?
From 2 to 6 p.m.
The exact time of the crime.
If that's when the crime was committed.
No further questions.
Ms. Blank, do you have anything you'd like to ask the witness?
I do have one question. What was your name?
Oh, I'm Derek Mullins.
Fuck.
Okay, let's hear our closing statements. I'd like to wrap this up before lunch. Ms. Blank, you first.
What a showstopper, am I
Derek?
right?
What are you doing?
It was your idea. He said you're gonna go to jail if you keep this up.
I'm doing my best over here, but this is...
Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you have witnessed today was a pure and utter mockery of the justice system, which I am shocked and embarrassed to have taken part of. I believe that the actions of the defendant and of his representation allude only to a sense of immaturity that was needed for the crime of public indecency. I encourage you all to do what is right and find Derek Mullins guilty. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Patterson.
I think y'all have seen that my client is not a bad guy. You can't trust the one cop that arrested him because she doesn't even remember anything. And you can't trust that girl either because she crashed her Mustang. And besides, he was with his brother the whole time. You heard it from the man himself. So yeah, he did nothing wrong. You shouldn't send an innocent man to jail because that would defeat the entire purpose of jail. Thank you.
You may be seated. You in the white, yeah, you. Please state whether you find Derek Mullins innocent or guilty.
Guilty.
In the case of Derek Mullins versus the state of Florida, Mr. Mullins is found guilty and sentenced to 8 months in prison as well as a $100 fine.
What are we gonna do?
What we have to.
You'll never take me alive!
Hey, get back here!